You are racist.
I want you all to understand that when a YouTuber says I never intended to make this video, they're absolutely lying to you. They were just waiting until they stopped being bored or the right opportunity to make that video. And with that being said, I never intended to make this video because honestly, I didn't care. When the Wukong game came out and there was a review that labeled a negative that there was lacking inclusivity and diversity, I just say, you know what? This is dumb. This really shouldn't be a standard as a con or a negative towards a video game. And that was stupid. And as it turns out, because I've been playing Wukong, that is an objective lie.
Right, he's nothing but mother's meal.
I can't lie to you. When that fucking games article came out and said that this game lacked diversity and inclusion, damn, fuck Asian women, I guess, because... Or are they technically women? Because I do believe they're spiders, even though they do turn into spiders. But, you know, women are still in that game. So, sorry, we don't have the entire game nothing but women sipping on Starbucks all day. But in the same time, there was another game that came out that sparked a lot of controversy and intrigue and a bunch of talking points. And it's called Dustborn. And it's a game I never want to play or spend money on. And honestly, that's fine. And it's not because of any reason that you've heard from anywhere else. It's because the game from the picture art really hurts my eyes, and I don't like this style with all of these colors. I like it when it's grim and a little bit dark like The Walking Dead, and the look of it is just terrible to my eyes. But if you listen to other people, it's hateful bigotry, it's wokeness, it's teaching all these things. You have these two screenshots, which we will put a pin in and talk about later. And then once all of the smoke died down, of course, you were going to get a response from the people who made the game to our community. Since we first announced Dustborn, we've read your comments and listened to your feedback, hopes and wishes for the game. Over the past 4 years, our team has poured their hearts into telling a story that is deeply meaningful to us, a story about the power of words, about building a world where everyone can feel safe, about love, friendships, and robots, of course. We expected Dustborn to spark conversation and debate and look forward to engaging with our players in a positive and constructive fashion. Unfortunately, that conversation has been drowned out by a tidal wave of hate and abuse. We welcome thoughtful feedback and respectful criticism. We embrace discussion and debate, but we have zero tolerance for hate speech, harassment, and threats of any kind. To those who engage in such behavior, you will be removed from our community. To everyone else, thank you for coming to this journey with us. Your support means everything, and your constructive feedback, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? If I never saw anything about the game, I could kind of work with this statement. But when you have abilities in the game that are bully and cancel as a means to, I guess, attack enemies or NPCs that are also in the game, you're inviting that conversation of hateful bigotry and hatefulness being brought towards you because you made this game, and I believe it was government funded, and you implemented these features, which when people see it, their minds are going to click and say, why are you trying to cancel people? I even think that there's a clip in the game, and I could be wrong about this, so work with me. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I can accept that, where there are two white individuals, I think they're NPCs or they're part of the storyline, talking, trying to describe somebody, and then I believe the main character is calling them racist after that.
Fella you're with, the black kid, dresses like a writer. Does he know anything?
You are racist.
You are inviting that conversation to be brought in from people who are either playing the game and not playing the game. And listen, if you never play the game and you're just screaming all these different things, your critique is really at the bottom. You could still have that critique, but it'll be lower ranked, at least in my opinion. So I had to scour the internet to see if anybody was willing to give this game any type of a chance and give it the type of constructive criticism that would be beneficial to everyone as it pertains to this game. And I would like to show you Derek, the gamer.
I didn't receive any financial compensation for this review and purchased Dustborn with my own money. Dustborn didn't just fall out of a coconut tree. It exists within the context of both current and past games. It draws heavy inspiration from titles like the Telltale series, the criminally underrated Guardians of the Galaxy, and Road 96. It also exists in a gaming landscape as divided as the fictional version of the United States depicted in the game. There's a faction within the gaming community that lashes out at what they perceive to be forced diversity, equity, and inclusion in video games. They've even gone so far as to create a website dedicated to identifying games that include DEI, with Dustborn prominently featured. Dustborn pulls no punches in its depictions of the bigotry and hatred the culturally diverse characters experience. It's very clear about the influences of white supremacy and colonialism. To have the courage to make a game in a landscape like this deserves applause. I'm firmly within the demographic this game is made for. Not just the LGBTQ+ community, but gamers who take gaming seriously, who don't skip cutscenes, and who want narratives and characters that reflect the real-life struggles we all face. But as a representative of those gamers, those who would have me represent them, Dustborn has left me feeling confused, disrespected, and angry. The developers of this game had a message they wanted to convey. My problem is that they assume the individuals they're conveying it to are unintelligent. We're not. We read everything, watch all the cutscenes, and don't skip dialogue, something the developers must know because listening to dialogue is a gameplay mechanic. You can't skip through faster because new dialogue choices are added or taken away depending on the context. It's a nice touch. Yet there were countless times that Dustborn would subtly make a comment about society only for one of the team members to butt in and explain the metaphors. Cancel the whole group.
You got nobody.
Okay, that's... Baby, you're not even hitting anyone. I'm sorry. Are you serious, man? Come the fuck on. She did not hit... Wow. You can't... That pissed me off.
You can make a game with a message. You can make a game that sparks conversation. You can make a game that makes people think. The problem with this game and pieces of entertainment is that the overall message you want to convey in a positive message, imagine you are trying to hit the game-winning home run to try to send everybody home happy and satisfied. You completely swung and fucking missed with a game that's just another example of people to actually build up their ammunition and shoot that everything is DEI. This was objectively an embarrassment, and even the people who could favor this game could see that you missed the overall fucking mark. So go back to the drawing board, come up with a game that could actually spark conversation that is productive, rather than you implementing a bunch of bullshit to make people turn around and say, hey, you all are full of shit. I do love that there's messaging in entertainment. I do love when I could watch something or play something and then it sparks a conversation. I know a lot of people don't, but guess what? You've been blindly ignorant to a lot of entertainment for the past 90 years, and I'm gonna need you to catch up with everybody else. But I understand that might not be everyone's cup of tea. They just want to hack and slash. They just want to shoot. They just want to throw. They just want to have a little bit of fun. So you can ignore it. You can not be involved in the conversation. You can just choose to throw it by the wayside. All of these things are valid. But if you as the creator are intending to create conversation and you fuck it up so hilariously, don't blame the consumers. Don't blame the critics. You started this. You need to end it or fix it or try something else in terms of trying to convey the message.
Imagine being a video game company that does not have the situational awareness to know what's going on in the gaming community and the gaming industry. The developers of Dustborn, Red Thread Games, decided they were going to launch their game the same day as Black Myth Wukong. Now, just a short history lesson on Red Thread Games first. The games that they have released are generally considered mid to pretty good, but have a very small audience. Games like Dragon and the Dreamfall chapters. Their newest game, Dustborn, is a third-person action game. A third-person action game you dropped on the same day as Black Myth Wukong. Now, besides the fact that this looks like a DEI checklist, this game was never going to be able to succeed because the geniuses thought they could compete with the most anticipated game of the year. Now, I'm not gonna say these individuals aren't gamers, but I feel like if you were gamers, you would have known not to release this game alongside Black Myth Wukong. Like, would you release a game the same day as a Halo title or a Call of Duty title? No, that would be foolish. In my opinion, it didn't even matter because this is a focus group DEI checklist and not a game. This is not Yeah.
Because boy, y'all fucked this up hilariously. But let me know, did you buy Dustborn? And if so, what's your rating? 1 out of 10. 1 being terrible, 10, you know how rating systems work because numerically this somehow matters. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm going to go shove a staff in some mystical creature's ass because Leon's been having a terrible time playing Wukong. I'm getting further and further, but the more I go, the more stress-inducing this becomes. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah. Goodbye.